All right, let's talk about something we all want, genuine connection with other people. But what if I told you that our most common, most natural instinct for building relationships is actually the very thing that can destroy them? It sounds crazy, I know, but today we're going to dive into a really surprising idea about how to approach others.
So let me ask you something. When you see someone you want to connect with, maybe someone who looks like they're struggling a bit, what's your first impulse? What's the first thing you think of doing to, close that gap? Just hold that thought in your head for a minute. It's going to be important.
Okay, so we're all wired to connect, right? It's just a basic human thing. And when we see someone who maybe has a bit less than we do, our brain pretty much instantly goes to one specific and honestly very logical seeming way to help.
And yeah, you probably guessed it. Our go-to move is almost always offering some kind of material help. Money, a gift, buying them something they need. And on the surface, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? They need something, you have it. Giving it to them feels like the absolute fastest way to build a bridge, like a direct path to connection.
But, and this is a huge but, this is where things get really interesting and kind of dark, because that well-intentioned, super common approach, it has this hidden trap, a totally unexpected consequence that can, and often does, blow up in your face. So what happens when you keep doing this, when the whole relationship is built on you giving and them receiving? You'd think it would lead to loyalty, to friendship, right? Well, according to this idea, that's not where this road leads at all. It leads somewhere much, much worse.
Yeah, getting stabbed in the back. I mean, wow. The original phrasing is even more visceral. It's like getting hit on the back of the head. The point is, the very person you've been helping, they end up being the one who betrays you. And I know that sounds absolutely wild, but there's a really powerful psychological reason this happens.
So what is going on here? Is it just that people are ungrateful? Nope, not at all. The thinking here is that the problem isn't with the person you're helping. The problem is with the method you're using. The whole thing is designed to fail from the very start. Let's walk through how this whole thing spirals out of control. So, step 1, you consistently give material help. Easy enough. But that immediately creates step 2, a massive imbalance in the relationship. Suddenly, you're the powerful one, and they're the one who needs something. Over time, this leads to step 3. They start to feel, ruined. And that feeling, it doesn't lead to friendship. It leads to step 4, this deep resentment that just builds and builds until it finally explodes.
And we need to be really clear about what ruined means here. We're not talking about financially ruining them. This is something much deeper. It's about their spirit, their sense of self. I mean, imagine constantly being on the receiving end. It just chips away at your self-worth, making you feel totally dependent and kind of worthless. You feel trapped at the bottom, and that is a horrible place for anyone to be. So when you look at it that way, the betrayal starts to make a twisted kind of sense. It's not really about them hating you. It's a desperate act to escape. It's like they have to blow up the whole relationship, the very thing that's making them feel so small, just so they can get their sense of dignity back. It's a survival instinct.
Okay, so if just giving stuff is so dangerous, what are we supposed to do? Is there another way, a better way to approach people that actually builds them up instead of accidentally tearing them down? Well, yes, there is an alternative approach. And here are the two paths, side by side. It's pretty stark, right? Path 1, material aid, creates that imbalance and ultimately breaks the whole thing. But path 2, this is totally different. It's about approaching them because you want to learn something. And that simple switch, it creates mutual respect and, believe it or not, can lead to a truly unbreakable relationship.
So here it is, the big idea. The most powerful, most effective way to connect with another human being is to ask them to teach you something. Forget being the provider, become the student. That one little change flips the entire power dynamic on its head.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Learn what? What could they possibly teach me? But that's the whole point. Everyone has something to teach. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It could be a specific skill. Maybe they're amazing at gardening, or a unique talent, or just wisdom they've gained from their life experiences, even just a different way of looking at the world. Everybody is an expert in their own life. And this gets to the heart of why this works so well. I mean, just think about it for a second. How do you feel when someone sincerely, genuinely wants to learn something from you? It feels incredible, right? You feel respected, you feel seen, it validates your existence. It's basically the ultimate form of respect, and it's the perfect foundation to build a real connection.
So how does this actually play out in the real world? What's the payoff for taking this different path?
Well, you're not just dodging a bullet and avoiding that stab in the back scenario. You're actually building something strong, something healthy, something that can really last.
What you're doing is turning a one-way street of pity into a two-way street of respect. It becomes a fair exchange. They give you their knowledge, their skill, and in return, you're giving them your genuine interest and respect. Right from the get-go, you're on equal footing.
And check this out. This doesn't mean you can never give them anything material. You can, but the order is absolutely everything. The sequence is critical. First, you learn from them. You let them be the teacher. Then, and only then, can you offer a gift or some form of payment.
Because now, that money or that gift isn't charity. It's not a handout. It's payment for services rendered. It's a fair price for the knowledge they gave you. It's a balanced transaction. And instead of creating that toxic imbalance, it actually reinforces their value and makes the bond even stronger.
So let's circle back to that painful idea of betrayal. The huge takeaway here is that if this has ever happened to you, if you've helped someone and they turned on you, maybe, just maybe, it wasn't about them being a bad person. Maybe it was about the method being a bad method. The whole dynamic was just broken from the very beginning.
Which brings us right back to that question from the beginning. When you approach people, what are you leading with? Is it your wallet, which sets up that top-down giver-receiver dynamic? Or is it your curiosity, which creates a relationship between equals? Thinking about that, well, it could change everything about how you connect with people.